He did.
I did.
All right, has everyone checked in?
Check in to win free prizes.
What do you mean by check in? What
If
are we
you
talking
check
about here?
in, you could win prizes. You could win pens and notebooks. You can either scan the QR code or you could go to 1MCABQ.com, fill in the form.
Anybody?
3 check-ins gets you a pen. 6 check-ins gets you a notebook.
Yes. You're all welcome.
If you get 10, you become an organizer. Careful, careful. So don't forget to check in.
Ready? Now you're clicking.
Here we go.
I won't touch the screen.
All right. Welcome to 1 Million Cups Albuquerque. The mission is to lower the barrier of access to education, resources, and connection for new and aspiring entrepreneurs. The journey of an entrepreneur is a difficult one. You need help along the way, and the help is here at 1 Million Cups. Oh, there we go.
Oh, wait.
So, oh,
Gotta turn it
that
on.
would help. Okay, so we work toward this mission through hardware failures, a consistent program of for the presenters everywhere. So I've been to Million Cups at 6 different locations now, 3 virtually, 3 physically. The program is exactly the same wherever you go. So you walk into a room of not strangers, but friends you just haven't met, and you'd find the format very familiar. So I encourage you to attend 1 Million Cups elsewhere, even virtually. If you get up early in the morning, you can go to Million Cups on the East Coast, have a cup of coffee, and get here. All right, so 1 Million Cups is active regionally. We're the only chapter in New Mexico, but you can see there are a bunch of other chapters spread out. Oklahoma is particularly hot, and there's a bunch of them in Texas. What are our key pillars? Presentations, not pitches. So this isn't a contest to see how many business cards you can hand out in 30 seconds. This is an idea about presenting your company, but showing your vulnerabilities and challenges and asking for help. So that fosters authentic connections rather than just networking. You're asking people to give you help on your journey as an entrepreneur. It's run for the community and by the community. So all of the organizers are volunteers. We're not altruists. We all each get a lot out of being a Million Cups organizer, and we're radically and intentionally inclusive. All kinds of entrepreneurs are welcome. All kinds of people and all kinds of businesses are welcome at 1 Million Cups. So here's a mission statement of ours. So the key question that everybody has to answer when they do a presentation is, what can this community do for you? And I think you've seen, if you're a regular attendee, that the community can do a lot for you. And one of the reasons that that's possible is we foster an environment that's welcome and friendly here. So you'll often be in a conversation where you know a great deal more about something than somebody else, and you should be generous because you were once ignorant as they were, and you should be generous and kind. If you keep talking, you'll find something they know a lot about that you're clueless about. So just keep talking to people and make some real connections and be kind. It's easy to apply to present. You can talk to any one of the organizers. There's a website that's just emerging from beta that allows you to sign up. And here are the criteria. If you have a for-profit business, that is, you sell things for less than it costs to make them, and you've sold something to someone who isn't your mom, then you're in market, right?
Wait, sell things for less than it costs to make.
Sorry, I'm thinking startup. For more than it costs to make, right? Thanks for keeping me quantitative, right? And yeah, I'm just thinking of our company. Or you know, those, you remember Amazon.org, that joke that went around on Wall Street for a long time? They weren't making any money. Okay, so you are also kind of allowed in if you have an idea and it's been validated. So you got like an external grant or something like that. So maybe you're not in market yet, but somebody says you have a great idea and they've given you an amount of money with a comma in it. So then once you apply to present, we'll give you a coach and we'll bring you up to speed on how to do a Million Cups presentation. This is our fearless organizing team. I'm Paul Sutter. Lisa Atkins has been our host here at Fat Pipe for 8 years. I think we're coming up on 8 years in September. Yeah. Eric has been a pillar as well. Adam Sparks-Breckel and Sonia Dewing, who is probably still out having adventures, right?
She's not feeling well. She's home.
Oh, okay. The adventure of getting home. So talk to any of us, And there's also kind of room on this slide for another person. So if you're all interested in being a Million Cups organizer, it is fun. You get to reach out to the community, recruit people, you get to coach them, and you get your picture on a slide.
There's room for 4.
Exactly. We'd like to thank our sponsors, Fat Bike, who's been our host for this entire run. Jason Collin Photography, always making us look good. More Than Organized, organizing your stuff, organizing your mind, and providing creamer. GOS Capital and Noventum Custom Software. Hey, Brian, bringing in the donuts and the kids today. So thanks to all our sponsors. And we're ready to go.
Good morning. So our speaker today is a young man that came to us through a referral, which is an exciting thing we could do, by the way, just as a punch out there to folks to say, hey, you could see someone say, this is something that will really benefit you because you get your name out there and you get some really cool help about your business. So Jason and Dave met Campbell at an open house that you were having. And so Campbell's got a pretty cool space over in my neighborhood, so that's exciting. It's one of the reasons that I was really excited to have him. And I'm going to figure out a time to make it over there and see the place. I really will. So 2 times that we tried to, he was busy because he had folks there. So there's things hopping. But I'm excited to hear more about this. He's creating a space for people to be creative. So Bishop Campbell.
Thank you very much.
The only time it stops working is when I'm dealing with the screen, like
Okay.
letting people in, so just let me know.
Okay.
And I'll keep you posted.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Campbell Bishop. I'm the owner and founder operator of Your Daily Studios. Your Daily Studios is a purpose-built rental studio here in Albuquerque. The goal is a community-focused space where photographers, filmmakers, artists, content creators, whatever it might be, can have access to a professional, fully equipped environment without needing to take on the cost of a build out and the monthly overhead of operating one. So it's fully equipped. It's meant to be utilized in a multitude of different ways. I'll go into some more details here in a second, but tell you a little bit about myself, what I do, and how I got into creating this concept. I'm a commercial photographer here in Albuquerque. I focus primarily on product and advertising work. So basically all of what I do, 90% is in a studio. I live indoors. And so I've been shooting for over 5 years now. Professionally, I've traveled the globe working with brands to help tell compelling stories and ultimately create imagery that sells. Up until about 3 years ago, I had spent the previous 3 years living between Thailand and Hong Kong with a design house as their in-house photographer, traveling the globe, going all over to help tell stories. Now, what that means is everywhere we would go, I would rent a studio. Any new city we'd go to, there's always one day dedicated to a studio shoot with our team. So that's what kind of sparked my idea of opening a space like this. It benefited me and my company that I worked with so much to have access to something like this, and really wanted to kind of create that at some point in my life. So up until about 2.5 years ago, I finally moved back to Albuquerque. I was born and raised here. And when I was coming back to the US, Albuquerque was the first stop, at least what I thought. I figured I'd spend a couple months here. Sure enough, 2 months later, COVID hit. I've been here 2.5 years. So didn't really plan for that, but kind of thankful that it did because it's worked out really well for me and my business. It's kind of that, no one really wants to move back to their hometown, but it's been working out really well. So that's why I decided to set up my business here. So kind of the road to how I got to this studio was when I first got back, I got my first space that was about 400 square feet, office building, too small, basically. But it got me started, it got me knowing what I needed, and it was my first space that I could call my own. Wasn't really open to the public, but it was for me to have my own. That got outgrown very, very quickly. So I doubled that to something that was about 800 square feet, and I've been in that for about 1.5 years, oddly enough, in the building next to this one. So this has been where I've been at for about the past 1.5 years, and it was to that point where I needed that next size of space. I needed more. I was getting closed in on, And this next jump up of space is really where it comes into, you need to be doing volume to own and operate a space like this, to make that monthly overhead in addition to being profitable. So that's when I really started thinking, okay, maybe now is the time to set up this rental studio. And so started looking at space, and oddly enough, it's been over a year that I've been looking for space. Just nothing on the market that what I needed. Basically, I need just a big box. And so finally found something. I got keys June 1st of this year, and did a build out the entire month of June, and I went live on July 4th. So about a month and a half ago. It's very new and still trying to kind of figure things out, but it's set up and it's going pretty well so far. So a little bit about the space is, again, it's set up for photography and filmmakers. So there's what's called a light cyc wall to shoot on. It's fully equipped with camera equipment, lighting, grip, client work area. There's a commercial kitchen, hair, makeup, patio space, pretty much everything that you would need for a production to come in and make a pretty cool project. So, let's see. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. So I rent it out by the hour and by the day. It starts out at $75 an hour, and then there's heavily discounted rates for booking a half day or a full day. And I also offer membership rates for people that could utilize the space multiple times throughout the month. Prime example, someone like Jason primarily works from home or on location. An environment like this allows him to have a professional space to come in and bring a multitude of clients to if they don't have the space for themselves. So it's really set up for people to come in and not take on that overhead. It's a lot to do a build out for a space like this. And the reality is most people don't need it. A lot of people, maybe a couple times a week or a couple times a month, that they would actually use the studio environment. So a rental option is actually extremely cost effective for a lot of people. And that's what I wanted to make. So some of the target market and challenges. So target market that I have is primarily photographers, filmmakers, agencies, content creators, artists. But now that I've been open the past couple of months, it's been interesting that I've realized that it's much more than that. I've been getting a lot of just really what I would call random people to come in that I would not expect to utilize this space. I've had actors come in to film self-tapes for submissions for castings. I've had people teach 2-day classes where they set up and teach a seminar, offsite meetings, things like that. And so I'm realizing that it's capable of so much more. I don't want it to stray away from the initial concept of what it is as a photography and filmmaking studio, but I'm open to the idea of further uses. So my current kind of challenges right now are, again, I've been open not even 2 months, so still very fresh and trying to understand what it is that we're doing. And I think the biggest thing with that is awareness. And so just sharing to the community that this type of space is available, reaching out to any photographer that I know, doing direct marketing, filmmakers, and now that I'm starting to understand the different groups of people that are coming in, doing more direct marketing to that type of group. So right now it really is just getting the word out and trying to let people know that they can come in and give it a try. Another really big challenge that I'm seeing is barrier to entry in education. I'm finding more and more that pretty much most people that call themselves photographer have absolutely no idea how to work in a studio. They don't know what studio lighting is, how to modify it, control it, or work with it. So what that tells me is that I need to create this space as not just a space that you pay to be at an hour, but a resource for education. So I'm working on a series of courses. First course material that will go live probably mid-September of next month is Introduction to Studio Lighting. So a 2 to 3 hour class where people can come in, understand the physics of light, how to modify it, how to shape it, and feel comfortable to come into the studio themselves and feel like they know what they're doing. And after that, portrait lighting masterclass, product photography masterclass, whatever it might be, is just making the space a resource for education so that people don't get intimidated by coming to a space like this. They would feel comfortable coming in, using all the equipment and that sort of thing. So I think that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think if I missed anything on the sheet.
You can go ahead and click to the next page if you want.
Oh yeah, so this is the contact information for the space, websites, my name, email, all that kind of good stuff.
So now, thank you for that presentation. We'll have an interaction with you.
Okay, yeah.
Whatever you want to say.
Sure.
And so if you have any questions for Campbell, what you'll do is he'll generally stand in this area because you can see it's framed and nice here in the picture.
Yeah.
And then if you come over here, you can sort of like have this conversation at, and one foot steps this way and one foot stands this way. And that way you're open to the audience and then it still appears you're talking to somebody. So that's the normal stance, okay? And maybe on the side of this will help, give some distance and some conversation space. Great. That's it, you can see it right here, so people can see it coming up. Online, there's we'll see a little bit of stuff come up, and Eric and Lisa will cue us in to who's coming up next. Great. So if you have a question, come on up. Cue in line right here.
Hi, I'm Paul Sauter, founder and chief scientific officer of Equisy. We develop cell genetic tests for horses. So I'm trying to imagine, how do you get into the minds of potential clients? And certainly the education thing is a great piece. And the one thing that I would say would really work on that is a short video. So a teaser, 2 or 3 minute video.
Absolutely. It's
Say,
working.
here is something you don't know about life that I'm teaching you. And if you want the whole thing, here's the course.
Completely agree with you. So there'll be one that we'll shoot next week, actually. So there'll be a global one talking about the course material, and that it'll be an ongoing series, not just a single class. Then there'll be another one that is focused primarily on that single class. That's a kind of a teaser, a hype video for that. And then the actual classes will be recorded, so they can be available online afterwards for people that did it, so they can come back and rewatch.
Great.
So no, I appreciate it. That's definitely a great idea.
So I'm Michael McDonald. I like how, first I like that you had some personal experience in studios around different parts of the world and got to a sense of what would be needed by you. One of the things that I thought about when you're talking about like how unfamiliar people would be with it, and also kind of like how much money they would blow off, like trying to figure out how to make the lights work while they're paying rent. Do you guys offer technician help? And then maybe even like that would might funnel people towards your classes.
So like on-site help to help set up lights or something like that.
Here, I want to shoot this product, and there's a technician there that says, "Hey, I'll set your lights up for you."
So no, it's a short answer question. Right now, no. I've thought about that. A lot of other studios offer what's called pre-lit sets. So they have a page of, let's say you want to shoot a headshot, or you want to shoot like an e-commerce look for your fashion brand, whatever it might be. There's reference photos of what that image would look like, and you can say add to cart. And basically, when you show up, that is set up for you. You can just plug in the flash trigger to your camera, set your camera settings to this, and start shooting. There might be minimal tweaks that need to be made, but it's set up for you to do that. So that can be really good, but studio photography and filmmaking is really, really finely tuned. And there's no necessarily, even though there are pre-lit kind of setups, there's no like one thing fits all. And so to have someone there on site it'd be a pretty significant fee, because it's being a working professional, basically just giving you all the keys to success, and then you just get to take the pictures. So I'd rather teach you how to do it yourself. That way you're comfortable to do it again in the future. So I would like to offer pre-lit options for people on a few different styles. But as far as a technician, I might look at something, maybe it's just an assistant. So if you just need a hands-on set kind of thing for the day, I can offer that. But you kind of start to bridge that line of that assistant is now just doing all of the work, and then someone's just stepping in, taking the pictures and not actually knowing what's going on. So I think it's a great idea, and starting to kind of look at how we can that. So thank you so much. I appreciate it.
We have lots of questions online too, so I'm
Okay.
going to switch back and forth.
Sure.
Clifton, go ahead and unmute yourself. You can ask your question. Kiana, you'll be next, and then Miriam, when we come back to the Zoom channel.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I'm glad to see this space. I think it's a good offering, but I'm curious if you've looked at the space that was offered by West, both for your own use before you opened this space, And then also, I think, how you're going to position yourself against that production facility that they provide. Thank you.
Absolutely, Clifton. That's a great question. So West owns a studio. I believe it's off of Broadway and Lomas. Great space, but it's a green screen. So they have a psych, but it's green. And so that's really good for chroma key work, a lot of video, but photography, pretty much useless. No photographer is going to set someone up behind a green screen. So the real differentiating factor between that, Clifton, is the space itself and the amenities that it provides. The reality is many other major city is going to have 100 of these rental studios. Albuquerque, just for some reason, maybe has 1 or 2. And what it comes down to is, what does each one of those spaces have and what will benefit you and for your shoot? And it will differ for every shoot that you have. So one thing might require a spot at West to book, and your next one might require a spot at me. What it comes down to is having different options for people to book, and that way they have what they need. So the other thing with them is they don't directly market that they are a rental studio. If you'd like to rent it, you can reach out to them and they offer that service. And there's a couple of places like that. But what's unique about Your Daily Studios is that it is directly marketed as a space for you and the community.
Speaking about community and stuff, Clifton, I don't think Campbell knows who you are. Would you introduce yourself and what you do real quick? Just your name and your business or affiliation?
Yeah, I apologize. Clifton Chadwick. My business is called Comunicaciones Cocopelli, and we're creating marketing and sales content for people. Thank you.
Clifton, let's go to the person here and then we'll come back to Kiana.
Hi, I'm Carrie Rose O'Connell. We met the last time you were here, and I've really enjoyed hearing more about Your Daily Studio. So my question for you is more about community partnership.
Sure.
So I host the Albuquerque Film and Media Incubator since May. And so I'm tapped into a ton of filmmakers and BTS photographers.
Sure.
So I would love to be able to connect our two efforts and cross communities more.
Mhm.
And I can plug a lot of people, I think, into your space use. I can tell you just from my knowledge, I've been working intimately with the film and media community in Albuquerque, especially for the last 5 years. And this type of space is a demand. There are a ton of independent content creators that this is exactly what they need. So I think a lot of it is just making sure that we work together to help plug you in, and then maybe we could do some sort of community partnership where you give the incubator a slight discount when we need to use it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, I know it's a great point. I get information partnerships is that I've actually reached out to a few different entities. UNM's photography program being the first one that I did, of just offering, saying, hey, if your students are in your photography program, I'll give them half off if they ever want to use the space. That way it gives them the opportunity to test and hone their craft. And so it is all about the community and doing stuff like this, and doing stuff together that really will help everyone. And so additionally with that is that I'd like to start hosting community events at the space, so that it's a networking event. You can come hang out. It's an open house. People can talk about the space and network with others. And so partnering with someone like yourself and your company would be a prime example of that. Of Friday night, we both get together, invite everyone, get some food trucks, just make it a good time for people.
That would be fantastic.
Absolutely.
And then I'd also love to plug you into the CNM film community, because those students a lot of times are working on independent projects as they're finishing the program.
Exactly.
And they would love affordable.
Agree.
Like
And stuff like that is that even if you come to the event, I'll give you half off your first hour, something like that, to where you can make it a beneficial thing for everyone. Exactly. Consent.
Yeah. Great
Thank you so much. Yeah, we'll talk to you
Thanks,
after.
Campbell.
Thank you.
Kiana, you're up next.
Thank you so much, Lisa. Hi, my name is Kiana Yamada with the Albuquerque Hispano Chamber of Commerce. I'm so glad I got on today. I finally had a chance to be here with you guys. So thank you so much for your presentation. And it's actually a great opportunity because we are in desperate need. There's been a need in the community for something that you have created. So I would love to speak to you more in regards of an opportunity and partnership with us. But my biggest question is, have you ever thought of doing anything in regards of like a podcast room? And then also for your seminars or the classes you would like to bring to the community, is this something that you're doing monthly? Is it pre-scheduled out? So that we can also share this and spread the word.
Absolutely. Thank you. I think there's two questions. One, first podcast room. Not currently. The concept with this studio is that it can scale up substantially. And the initial thought was, of course, 20,000 square foot warehouse with multiple stages and rooms for people to use. And it sort of became, what can I do now? What can I do to get this concept out, test it in the community, in the market, and see if this is viable? If it is, how do we scale to that next stage, next location that has multiple, not only podcast room, but sound recording for music producers, things like that, of making your daily studios more than just a place for, photographers. It's for, music producers. It's for community content creators that want to do podcasts, things like that. So technically you could set up a podcast in the studio, but it is not currently set up to have that where you could come in and it's already there for you. So I think your next one was about, could you just remind me real quick? If we can work together. Oh, for the education stuff. So yes, absolutely. So it will be monthly. The goal is to have something that is every month, if not more than every month. I'd like to bring in guest speakers, someone other than myself, to kind of teach a class. So if you are in the industry and really do know what you're doing, I invite you in to have a partnership to speak to the community and make it much more than just my couple people that I know to come in and book. So absolutely interested in talking together. The whole goal with this is to help the community. And so if we can educate them in a certain way so that they feel comfortable to shoot in the space, not only my space, but just in general, so that they have a better understanding of photography and filmmaking, that's kind of the main goal. So I'd love to talk to you afterward and see what we can kind of come up with.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Miriam, you'll be after Fallon. Hi.
Good morning.
My question was about the film industry, so
Sure.
I was already asked, so I'm gonna ask another one.
Cool.
And I'm Fallon with the Sprouting Kitchen. I teach cooking classes, so I was intrigued by your certified kitchen. What was the thought behind that being there?
Came with the space. Bonus.
I was like, I wonder why.
That was a goal in finding the type of space that I needed. For the past year, it's really been tough to find. Basically, I need a big box that's open and has a lot of flexibility. But a kitchen is a huge part for photographers to shoot food photography, film work, any project, even to like cater an event, just to have that there available. And it gives the opportunity to have a production for any kind of food related thing. So kind of just turned out to be a
Cool.
bonus.
Those are
So,
shorthanded, so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Miriam?
Good morning, Miriam with More Than Organized. Like Fallon, most of my questions got answered as you went along. So I'm really impressed with your vision, and I'm wondering if you could share how you thought through the steps in your process. Like, how did you figure out this system of doing things versus, I just want to own a studio? It sounds like you got a lot of input and
Yeah.
helpful for others.
Sure. So I'm not sure the kind of beginning of my presentation kind of touched on that. Is I've been shooting commercially for over 5 years. I've traveled the globe working with different brands, and I've shot in probably close to 100 studios that are set up very similar to mine. So I've been taking notes kind of the whole time, and kind of the first couple that I went to gave me the idea to open up my own, because it's such a great resource to be able to share with others. It's benefited me so much that I'd like to be able to give that back. And especially in a city like Albuquerque that doesn't have anything like it, I think it's something that's really important. So my experience comes from direct experience. I've used multiple, if not hundreds of spaces myself. So I've been taking notes the whole time of things I do like, things I don't like. What would I do if I created this space? And kind of like in the last couple of questions is, first off, the idea was quite big, a 5,000, 10,000 square foot space that really has kind of everything, even a co-working space, coffee shop, everything. But that's grand scheme. So what can I do to scale back? And that's kind of what I've came up with now. The other thing with it is there was really no market research for Albuquerque to justify that this idea would work. any other major city's got 100 of these studios. Albuquerque doesn't have a single one. There's a couple things that might be relatable to a rental studio, but nothing like what I have here. And I don't mean to make that a brag. It's meant to be that this exists everywhere else, but not here. And I didn't understand why, because it's widely utilized and it's something that's really neat among a variety of people. So I wanted to create a concept to start and see if it works. And so far it's doing very well. So.
Excellent. It is surprising that there hasn't been one in Albuquerque before. And I love the concept of researching even when you're not researching. Just always being aware of what else you can bring into your own business and situation. Love it. Good luck.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Hello there.
So I'm Dr. Jessica Troy. I'm an SEO copywriter, but I'm also an instructor at CNM. And so I've been teaching people who don't know about my subject for a long time. And so your seminars and instructional sessions really intrigue me. And from what I have gathered from my own teaching experience, it is building blocks that you need to focus on first, and then scale it up from there. So your intro class really got me interested in finding out where do your students, or who would be your students, need to start? Do they need to come in with a prerequisite of knowing anything about studio lighting, since you call it go to studio lighting? And from my experience helping Jason with his photography, I came into that knowing absolutely zero about studio lighting. And I know probably this much now,
Sure.
just from helping him set up and that kind of thing. And it's, I've been with him for over 5 years. So, I'm a little concerned about a 2-hour block.
No, I
and
totally understand.
Making people feel comfortable.
It's a valid question, and the prerequisites, I think, is the key word in all of that, and understanding where people start. I would go as simple as camera basics in the studio, is understanding your aperture, shutter speed, and ISO, and just even composition, just understanding what actually composes a photograph and how do we get a correct exposure.
Right.
So there would be a list of prerequisites that are recommended before you take a class that we do, but I think the first couple that I'd create are trying to be as bare minimum as possible. So examples, introduction to studio lighting would be, even if you think you know some things, I would start off with absolutely talking to you like you're a 3-year-old and
I would say even
trying
just
to build
setting
it up. Exactly.
the different
Yeah.
lighting and.
No, yeah, so it'll be a full hands-on course where everything will be, you'll get a little booklet.
And my other thing, going off the tech idea, the technical help concept, I know triggers and things like that can malfunction
Sure.
and not act the way that you're supposed
So I
to.
have solutions for that on how to
Okay,
combat studio problems.
okay,
So,
great.
yeah,
Thank you.
thank you so much.
Clifton, you're back. Your turn.
Here I am. Are you familiar with Stacy Sacco? Because every year he hosts a big gathering of a bunch of marketing people. And I should say every year up to the pandemic, I think he's trying to put together, be a great group of people to invite to your space. So I just wanted to bring that up. Thank you.
Yeah, I think my contact information was there, Clifton. If it's not, if you could put it in the chat, your contact information, and I'll reach out to get that contact from you. But I appreciate that. Thank you.
Go on, Michael.
Good morning.
Michael Herrick with HIPAA for Humans. We work in HIPAA and cybersecurity risk management for healthcare. I hope you don't mind sort of a personal question, because I think that business is always personal. I think a lot of creative entrepreneurs probably recognize some parts of your journey here, moving from being the expert, providing the service on your own time, based on your own expertise and your own talent, to trying to create a business that might be more scalable, that maybe can make money without you, things like that. There are obvious attractions to that, but there are also tensions that come up. So my question is, do you want to still be shooting photos? Do you want to still be a photographer? My question is, isn't this kind of business going to be a little bit harder to run from Thailand and Hong Kong? Isn't this going to require some lifestyle changes, maybe some sacrifices for you? How is this going to fit together right now? I imagine maybe now you want to be a customer of your own business as a photographer, and that there can be benefits there. How is this going to evolve, and what's your long-term goal here?
I appreciate that question. Yes, it is completely flipped my life upside down. I have 2 jobs. I shoot full-time commercially. So trying to do that in addition to letting people in and out of the space, return to emails and just running it is an entirely other full-time job. So things have gotten extremely busy in the past couple months. I will always shoot photos. It's something I thoroughly enjoy. It's not a job for me. I genuinely enjoy shooting. So that will always be there. The long-term goal with this space is that ideally in the next 6 months to a year is that a studio manager is hired to operate the space where they can consult with me, but they know what to do on a day-to-day, giving me the freedom to focus more on everything else. Also, long-term goal is to actually not be in Albuquerque forever. I'd like to scale this idea to another city. So 3 to 5 years, take this concept, move to another city, build my own commercial brand further, set up another studio there, and have a multitude of studios across the country that is, its own entity and can get some retirement options in there. Because right now I don't have much. So trying to future-proof myself. But yeah, it has completely changed my life and I'm trying to work on that now. I'd like to hire someone, but these first couple months, I really have to understand the operation side of things myself before I can hire someone and tell them what to do. Also financially, we need to make sure that I'm in the black before I'm paying someone else's salary. So yeah, I appreciate it. Good question. Thank you.
Phil, your turn.
Hi, Phil Wilton, Executive Outcomes. That last comment you just made about growing your business, I understand that's a future down the road, but just out of interest, I'll drop my contacts with you because at Executive Outcomes, we specialize in helping you grow businesses. But aside from that, I wanted to ask the question, and I don't know how relevant it is to where you are now, but from my understanding, being in New Mexico for the last 3 years, I've realized there's a lot of filming going on in New Mexico, a lot. And it's big guys as well as the small guys. What are your thoughts about interacting and looking at that as a market, or is that just too big a step for you to take at this particular time and maybe something you would do down the road? And I was just interested to see how you would work into that environment. I know that studios probably have a lot of their own stuff, but when they're out and about, they want something quick, then they've got you.
Absolutely.
How do you fit in that market?
Great question. I'd love to talk to you about, first off, expanding the business. That's great. But again, I'm a month and a half in. So maybe here in like a year, we'll see what else we can do to grow. In terms of production, film industry, there's 14 active productions in Albuquerque alone right now. It is booming. Just film industry here is insane. It's kind of a different market than what I do. As I'm sure you've driven by a film crew or a set, there is 300 people there minimum. There is 18 trucks there. It is a small city that moves within. My space probably will not be able to facilitate that just for size restriction. I'm fully open to working in that. It's just that the odds of them actually needing that size of space is pretty small. If they needed to shoot something small, or if they needed a scene in a movie where it's a photographer working, then they would absolutely, hire it. But again, it's one of those things that's an entirely different animal. But it brings up a valid point of they do have their own studios. So there's I-25 studios that just got bought out. There's Netflix studios. People are opening these large scale things. And that was actually kind of the range, is that there was basically nothing up until, a 25,000 square foot stage that's unattainable for anyone else other than a film and production house. So someone like myself, I couldn't spend 10 grand on a day in one of those, spaces. It just wouldn't make sense. But for the production, it's no problem. So it's kind of a different market. But I think there's opportunity to work together, and I'm fully open to that. We'll just kind of see how it plays out down the road.
Campbell, you're very popular, but
Thank you.
we're running out of time.
Okay.
We're gonna
Thank
let
you, Phil.
David ask his question, then
Yeah.
we'll let Eric back up.
Okay. I'll run through them. We'll get everyone in.
And then anybody else, just, stay after and you can ask them more questions.
Yeah. So is it Brian
We'll go quick. David. Run. We'll get everyone in.
David Murphy, Core Visual. My question is just about insurance and liability. If I come in and I've got my own gear
Yep.
and the light stand falls over and breaks mirror, or
You are liable. Great question. So you have coverage in terms of liabilities for yourself, in personal injury, that kind of thing. Equipment is kind of, if you do break things, we will talk. There's a clause in my studio policies that talks about damages to equipment, whether it's the cost of repair or replacement. So it's one of those things. I'm actually talking with my insurance agent. I meet with him next Monday. We found a insurance policy. It's almost like event insurance that people can pay $10 or $15 on top of their booking price. That will not only give them extra personal liability coverage, but it will cover everything in my studio, which is great. But if you do, as a production company, a lot of times you have insurance yourself. Supply me with your certificate of insurance, and that covers everything as well. So, yeah.
Brian Steiner, Events and Custom Software. Nice presentation.
Thank you.
So I have some questions about the finances.
Sure.
I mean, it seems like if you've got this fixed cost, this sunk cost of the studio, it almost doesn't matter because you need a studio anyways.
Mhm.
But I mean, what's it going to take for you to break even? Is it 10 people that are on your subscription plan? Is it 15? Like, what's the break even?
The thing is, it varies. That's a great question. So basically it starts at $75 an hour and it goes up. You can do a half day, you can full day, and we offer memberships. Now, what's interesting is it's not number of people, it's a dollar amount, because I could have 10 people that book an hour. That's not my overhead.
Yeah.
But if I have 10 people that book a combination of an hour, 2 hours a day, 3 days, that kind of thing, then I make my money. So it really is just a combination of what people book, and it's a dollar amount, not necessarily a number of people. So it does come back to, I have, I use the space myself, but I don't want to pay my day rate. Like, I should be able to just work there in addition to, and that was comfortable as well. So,
Cool,
yes,
thanks.
thank you so much. One more?
Adam,
Thank you for
Adam,
fitting in.
you have a question for? All right. You're in order.
No, I'm not into it. No,
Okay,
this
hit
is
me.
great. Quick question / comment. So one of the things, have you signed up with the city or state directory for phone resources?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're on, just.
Well, I've submitted, so whether or not we're in it yet, but it was actually a couple weeks, someone did an online seminar that talked
Mhm.
about how to
Nice.
get into it, and do all the resources for it. So it's a 1-hour Zoom meeting, and that's actually where I got all the information to
Fantastic.
submit to be in, but yeah.
And to sort of share with the audience, one of the things, even though that may not be your market, that's where a lot of people go to look for those kinds of resources.
Yeah, they were, a big thing
Yeah.
they were saying is, I mean, even the simplest thing, it's resources for actors or production when they come into the city. So no matter what your business is, odds are it'll probably fit into the film industry. They need good people that they can recommend and have for their production. So
Thanks.
Check into that.
yeah,
So thank you, Campbell, for coming. We've got 2 questions that we ought to wrap up with.
sure.
And I'm now realizing as a coach, I failed to prepare you for this. So we'll see how it goes.
Ready.
So the first question is red or green?
Green. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that was on purpose that I coached you that way.
Cool.
So, and then the other one is, how can this community help you?
Tell your friends, if you're interested about using the space. Again, it's not just photographers or filmmakers. If you guys need a space for an offsite meeting or, just an event space, I think it can be utilized in a lot of different ways. And so sharing it with your communities and letting photographers and filmmakers that that this kind of space is available and that they should check it out and diversify the portfolio and try something new. So spread the word for me.
Thanks, Campbell.
Thank you so much, Adam. Okay.
All right, let's see. So I will share, if you're part of how many people are on the actual receiving emails from 1 Million Cups? Fantastic. How many folks are also on the meetup list as well? And that's too many extra emails. That's okay. So if you're on the 1 Million Cups main list, you received some of this information last week. I'll just give a couple updates on different events and activities. One of which wasn't on the list, but the thing that Three Sisters Kitchen and a couple of their other partners are doing is really, really cool with Downtown Growers Market. They're having sort of a birthday celebration for Three Sisters, but also talking about the new expanded commercial kitchen that they're working on together in downtown in Albuquerque. That's going to run from 4 to 6 p.m. That's over at Fusion Theater Company at, 708 First Street. So that'll be good. A couple other things that are coming up over at the Bioscience Center with a few folks like Lisa know a little bit about. There's the new collar startup evaluation model with Sarah Boivet. I don't know, my French isn't that good, but I'm getting close. I'm getting better. So basically that's a brown bag lunch that's happening on the 30th. She'll be talking about a new model that they've been working with in order to help evaluate startup companies. She's also become entrepreneur in residence. So that's very cool. It's kind of a nice get for Bioscience Center over there. On September 8th, up in Santa Fe, Entrepreneur Story Time with T Neuropharma. We're trying to get Dr. Christine Trujillo to join us here, but they got her first. So that's happening in the evening of September 8th up in Santa Fe. September 21st, Experience IT with the New Mexico Technology Council. Tons of great people are going to be speaking at that event. It's a full day event. If you're in and around the technology world and you're looking to connect with folks in software and IT and all the other different flavors of tech, I recommend that. And I think that's just about it. Global Entrepreneurship Week coming November 14th through the 20th. Thanks very much.
My assignments for 1 Million Cups is to do a head count every week. Guys, we have 47 people here today. Can I have a raise of hands for who considers themselves an entrepreneur? I usually put about 80%. I feel like it could be closer to 90, so I think I'm pretty good on that percentage. And do we have any newbies here today or online? Come on up. I'm going to have you come up here. We're going to have you introduce yourself. Anybody else online a newbie? All right, this is your opportunity to introduce yourself to the community and tell them how you found us.
Sure. Hey, everybody. My name is AJ Fenton. I'm a recent grad from New Mexico Tech in computer science. I found out about you guys through my aunt, who is Amy Miller, who
she's a member here.
Suggested that I might come on down, make a few connections. So
good job.
I'm looking for a job. If anyone has any leads, that would be great.
Question to ask here.
Software development.
Software development is what I would love. There's certainly things that are not quite as much what I would love that I would certainly also do, including such things as IT. So
you're a software engineer specifically.
yeah, my degree is in computer science and engineering. So
awesome.
Thank you.
All right, Paul.
All right, close this out.
Do your magic.
Okay. Well, you've seen today, if not in prior weeks, how helpful this community can be to an entrepreneur. And I want you to carry that forward through the rest of the week. And when you encounter somebody who needs something or needs to meet somebody that you know, please reach out and let's spend the week lifting up entrepreneurship in New Mexico. I won't see you next week because I'll be on the road doing field research. See you in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Thanks, Lisa.